As someone who's enjoyed every single match that this season of My Hero Academia has delivered, this kind of felt like the icing on the cake. As someone who's enjoyed how much every character has struggled up until this point for this season of mock battles, these training sequences where it flips what you think is going to happen on its head so many times that sometimes it's a matter of moments in a row, as you're saying, no, Class A, wait, Class B, Class A, wait, actually it's going to be Class B. And to have an episode like this, that literally is a 5-minute flawless victory on Bakugo's team. Probably no surprise to people. Bakugo winning, he's explosive, he'll one-shot everyone, and his team will just play cards as they wait. But what was unexpected about his victory was how not only did he protect his teammates, he believed in his teammates so that they would protect him. And in doing so, we see yet again another match that is surrounded by the theme of teamwork, how being a hero isn't usually a one-man show, and if you have a sidekick, if you have a team supporting you, you have to believe in them and you can't go guns a-blazing. Their entire plan to defeat Bakugo's team was based on past knowledge, that 3 of the members would be useless and we don't have to worry about them. Focus everything on Bakugo, catch him off guard, and as long as we keep our distance and attack from the shadows, eventually he'll mess up, and once Bakugo's defeated or captured, well, at that point, you just have to deal with the rest of the mindless fodder. But in doing so, when you see him actually, in a brutal way, it's still Bakugo, don't get me wrong, kicking someone away and kind of taking the blast, it's something that brings a grin to your face, because comparing Bakugo, even a season ago, to where he is now, it's really night and day. What I love about his conversation towards the end after they won is how literally nothing has changed with him. His goal has always been to surpass All Might. The difference is he's taking different characters' opinions to heart and understanding that he can't just say, okay, well, I know I can defeat them by going this extreme with my explosion. He has to consider that there are civilians and there's people behind him that he has to worry about. And even though he may be physically stronger than most characters, he also lacks things that characters like the ability to scan surroundings, the ability to, get him out of a situation that could have ruined him literally being trapped and welded in place. Had he been the same character even a season ago or a couple of seasons ago, he might have been shit out of luck. Maybe he would have been able to explode himself to freedom, but in doing so, he might have put himself into another dangerous trap. This episode was all about saying, while this was definitely the shortest match, not only was it one of the most memorable, the reason why I think the shorter in length works and it doesn't feel like we were screwed over, like, oh man, you gave us 2 episodes of these characters, or you gave us way more time for this battle. The reason this victory feels so amazing is not only because it's fast-paced, we can compare to every mock battle that happened up until this point over the past how many episodes, and we're saying it, we know how strong these characters are. We know how strong Todoroki is. We know how strong this character is. How the hell did Bakugo do this in such a short amount of time? But it's a testament to not only his powers, but how far he's come. And had he been that type of character from Season 1, he might be well above every single character without much struggle right now. He definitely held himself down by his arrogant, I'm the best attitude, but that attitude has now become something more of a weapon rather than something that's going to be a hindrance to him in the long term. That's what makes it really interesting. The biggest question I personally had was, what was this girl's ability going to be that allowed her to be a giant wild card? Well, being able to split your body parts up into like 50 pieces, I think, was the maximum, as you are screwing with the sound, so it's hard to pinpoint where people are. And even if you do have a good idea of where characters are, as we see with the jump attack, if someone's not making a sound, it's pretty much game over in a lot of cases, because the ability to scan your surroundings, well, you know you're fighting 4 opponents. It's pretty easy to tell where everyone is, so one person not appearing on the radar would be like, okay, one of them is clearly with the other, they're trying to jump us. But by having someone constantly tapping pipes and things like that, it's hard to tell what's actually someone's movement or if it's someone trying to play a trick on you. So there was definitely a lot of curveballs, and I like how their teamwork on Class B side was pretty good, I have to say. They had a good plan that was based on past knowledge, but I think that's something that even happens in the real world, right? You get intel from secondhand knowledge, but that intel's old news, right? So by having them basically do something that seems pretty good on paper, and I think most people would probably agree, listening into them before the battle, the fact that Bakugo has improved so much and just the shocked reactions of them like, you've improved too much, I think was really satisfying. I mean, Bakugo has always been one of the cooler characters in My Hero Academia, but he's always had a temper that was always going to be his biggest hindrance. And have an episode like this that really shows that temper, I mean, especially as he gets worked up, when he starts sweating more, his abilities get crazier and crazier. But the fact that he can actually work with a team, it says to me that even outside the battle, of course, he's still talking shit, he's still being Bakugo, that's probably never going to change. But it says to me that if we get into a situation where Bakugo has to work with Deku or characters he just actually just despises and doesn't want to work with, if it's a real situation, he absolutely will. And I think that's what's going to make him be one of the best heroes. And it kind of feels like with him wanting to be the number one hero, with Deku wanting to be the number one hero, it almost feels like they're always going to have this back and forth. And some days you might say, no, Bakugo might be able to become that. And then other days you'll say Deku. But it's nice because, I mean, to see All Might most curious about Bakugo of all characters, because he is kind of a wild card, and over the match and the fact that he was just so proud and completely blown away, it makes you feel proud of this character. That the one character who, when I first started My Hero Academia, I was like, oh, we're going to go the direction of, you know, Bakugo's actually going to become a villain because clearly, I mean, the hot temper, we've seen this type of shonen trope before. Bakugo has become one of the best heroes at this point in time in Season 5, and it feels like a well-earned path rather than just him switching a switch and saying, okay, I'm not going to be an asshole or I'm not going to be loudmouth or anything like that. No, there was a lot of progression, there was a lot of build-up, and this is just a season about showing where every character is, whether it's big or small, and they're doing a flawless job doing that. A part of me has a gut reaction thinking some people are going to say, well, Bakugo's my favorite character, and his match lasted a lot less in terms of length than every other match up until this point. And I hope that's not going to be the case, just because it's clearly intentional. It says that this happened in 5 minutes. Everyone was blown away. It's not like Bakugo's match happened in the first match. Like, that would be an issue. If we started this arc and Bakugo fought and he did everything in 5 minutes, our expectations would be, okay, clearly it's going to be a pretty fast-paced arc, and then seeing everyone get dragged out, seeing characters like Todoroki not be as good, we'd say, holy shit, you know, what's going on here? Like, why are they sucking so bad? But by having it be episodes upon episodes of characters struggling, big and small, by having Bakugo come in the second to last match and do it in such a short amount of time, not because of his single-handed victory, but because of his teamwork, it shows how much farther a character like him has gone and how he really is one of, if not the best cases of a hero this school has seen so far. Depending on how Deku goes about his match next weekend, it's kind of a similar situation. A very big powerhouse with more of a support team. But it feels like that's supposed to be something that makes you sweat, as if you're saying, it's not a matter of who's stronger, it's a matter of how their teamwork is and how far they've come as characters. But would I be shocked if Deku's match lasted a couple of episodes? No, given how it is a 4v5, and one of their members, Shinzo, is kind of ridiculously powerful. So I like that. I like how, even though it's shorter and it's more unexpected than other matches, it actually plays off of the previous victories and conclusions to make it feel all the more impactful, as if it has that explosive fiery heat that characters like Bakugo have come to be known for. This season's incredible. I don't care what people say, this season is absolutely heat. I love it. It's showing big and small characters have their moments, and it's hard not to feel like after 5 seasons of My Hero Academia, really feeling like the cast as a whole is a living and breathing set of people rather than just here's Deku, here's Todoroki, here's Bakugo, and here's a meme character. No, it feels like everyone has their reasons to be as fired up as they are or feel as down as they do. And when things start to hit the fan, things are really going to go crazy. It's crystal clear. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below, your favorite moment, and where do you think it's going to go with next week's episode. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you're happy and new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.